Why tell the trees what ain't so? Whispering grass, the trees don't need to know.
This trio takes three really virtuoso musicians and sees what they do if they commit themselves to making this really intimate, story-based music.
Kissed there long ago, whispering grass, the trees don't need to know.
Each of the three of us is a jazz musician. We love improvising, we're schooled in the jazz tradition, we all perform standards, we've all studied that music with a lot of depth.
I'll arrive late tonight.
But this group also feels a lot like chamber music. A lot of it can kind of stretch and we can interact much more like a chamber group because we're listening so intently to one another.
Pack up all my care and woe, 'cause here I go, singing low, bye, bye, blackbird, where somebody waits for me. Oh, sugar sweet and so sweet.
We've done about 150 in-home concerts, but we've also played jazz clubs, we've played at chamber music festivals, we've been artists in residence for composition programs. So this is a group that can kind of span the jazz or the classical world.
It's all you got.
The singer-songwriter movement. And so as listeners experience this group, they also hear musicians who are willing to get personal, who are willing to get emotional, who are willing to show what's beneath the skin.
I always say yes, sometimes I call out. Sometimes I yearn to reach the hilltops with my song. Sometimes I call out. Sometimes I lose my inhibitions and I call your name.
Audiences don't always feel when they're leaving a performance that they've really learned something from deep within the performer's soul. But in this group, we like to really have that close relationship with people, both on and off the stage. In that way, I feel like we owe a lot of debt to the music of people like Joni Mitchell or Paul Simon or Bob Dylan, people who really burst open the relationship between composer, musician, songwriter, and audience.
Evening's light, a kiss by the boathouse door, leaving you needing more. The horns of the harbor heard, chanting love word.
We definitely go to people who are presenting a house concert for the first time. I love opening up a new venue, as well as the nervous energy that somebody might have. One of the beautiful things about house concerts are that hosts like to make their audiences comfortable. So it's really lovely to be able to come into people's communities and bring the music to them. The coolest thing is when we get people coming up to us and saying, I didn't know that I liked this kind of music, but I had a great experience. I think I'm gonna do this more often.
I'm just like